welcome back to Starcastic Remarks. This is Ryan. I've got Chris today.
Howdy.
And we have got a Series 2 win, baby. How about that? I literally don't think a Hollywood director could have scripted this the way this game happened. There's not a chance in the world.
Yeah, this was nuts. This was kind of like a Rudy situation, except Rudy was actually good, so...
Yeah. So, Stars win in... Thankfully, it was just one overtime. But they win in overtime, 5-4. And again, the magic number for the Stars is 5, like I've been saying. And like other people have been saying, and like Brian Ray has been saying. And now, apparently, Daryl Ray is hitting the bandwagon, too. Everybody says if we score 5 goals in every game, we'll win the series. So,
yeah, this was one of the most emotional games I've ever watched in my entire life. There were so many emotion swings, but my hat got spiked at least 3 times. Poor hat. Twice out of frustration and once out of joy at the end. I thought we lost with the last Avs goal. I thought that was it. With 3 minutes left in the game and the Avs taking control of the period, I thought there was no chance. And just, I love Kiviranta to death. And I think we should give him $20 million a year.
Yeah, just for this one game, right?
Yep, he's earned it.
So, interesting thing that, I haven't even really thought about it until after he scored that 3rd goal. Has there been any other team that's had a hat trick?
McDavid.
No, I mean, I'm talking about this playoffs.
McDavid.
Well, I'm not talking about the qualifiers. I'm talking about the playoffs.
In the stat books, they're playoffs, but no. Other than that, no.
Okay. So, no other team in the 16 teams that made the playoffs, we're not counting the qualifiers, has a single person that has made a hat trick. How many do the Stars have?
We have 3.
2 of them, you can kind of expect it. And then the 3rd one is just like, huh? So, Gurianov and Pavelski, I have to start saying it right because Dad said, oh, you can't say Pavelski anymore. Pavelski. It's Pavelski, whatever. So, Pavelski, and then Kiviranta is in the conversation? What?
Yeah. And the only guy out of those that makes any money is Pavelski, so... I think Kiviranta makes less than $1 million a year. He just scored a hat trick in Game 7 in a game the Stars had no business winning.
I don't know what to expect for the next series. I really don't.
I know I can expect at least 4 more hockey games, and I'm happy about that at least.
I have never been in all of my life so happy to be wrong about something. I thought after losing Game 6 that we were done. I honestly thought we were done. And I was very close to being right several times, I felt like. And honestly, when we scored the third and fourth goal, I cried. I legitly cried. And I was on my way to the Dallas area, coming from West Texas. So I was sitting in the passenger seat. My kids are in the back seat, and my wife is driving us up to the Dallas area for my mom's birthday. Our mom's birthday, I should just say that. Yeah. And I was sobbing in the passenger seat. Like, legitly sobbing. Especially when Radulov scored that 3rd goal. Because I thought that was it. I thought, Avs are taking a 3-2 lead into the break, and we hadn't played all that great, except for like the last couple minutes of the 2nd period where we got a couple of chances. But I thought we were done. What about you?
Yeah, I didn't think we were done at the end of that period. The end of the 2nd got me at least a little bit of hope going into the 3rd. But after the Avs 4th goal, I definitely thought we were done. I thought that game was over. And then Kiviranta just 10 seconds later was like, oh, look what I found off of this goaltender's pad, and he buries it. What a legend. I love that, man. But yeah, the Stars, pretty much the whole game, just didn't really look any different from games 5 and 6, if we're going to be honest.
No, I didn't.
We had Kiviranta, who played great the whole game, actually. It wasn't just those last 2 goals. I thought the whole game he looked great. Even before his goal, I thought he looked... I was really surprised that I was noticing Kiviranta every shift he was out there. And then Radulov played great. And even Dobie didn't play awesome. I thought he was going to have to steal this game, honestly. If the big guys didn't step up, I thought maybe Dobie can steal the game. He didn't really play awesome. He didn't play bad. He wasn't the reason we lost, but he also wasn't the reason we won, obviously, with us having to score 5 goals. And the big guys didn't play great. Our defense didn't play great. And we still find a way to win. And that's a testament to the Stars taking a 3-1 series lead. So you're not going to beat a good team 3 times in a row, is pretty much what it comes down to. And the Avs found themselves having to do that, and they couldn't do it. Even if they're the better team 3 nights in a row, you're still most likely not going to beat them 3 times in a row. It's just super hard to overcome something like that. Lucky bounces are going to change eventually, and they obviously did for the Stars, especially with that last goal. It's a good save. Goaltender kicks it into the corner. Kiviranta's just right there and buries it. So Stars get some great luck, which is what it takes sometimes to get into the conference finals. It happened for the Blues. Stars should have beat them last season. They got saved by the toe of a skate. So Blues got lucky on their Stanley Cup win. Maybe this is our luck to take us to the Stanley Cup. So that's what I'm hoping for.
And I absolutely love just going back and looking at all the stuff from this game. So the first thing that came to my mind while you were talking was the post-game interview with Rick Bowness. And the first comment that was made before the interviewer asked the question was like, that was a brilliant coaching move, putting in Kiviranta for Cogliano. And I'm like, how the heck is he supposed to know that a rookie who didn't play in the entire series, he played last series, but he didn't play in this entire series, and he's going to go out as an NHL rookie and score 3 goals in a Game 7.
Bonus just knew. He had 6. He's like, that guy's got the hat trick hat on, I think. I saw him put it on earlier, so.
But how the heck are you supposed to know that? Like,
he
for
doesn't.
real.
We got lucky, is what I'm saying.
And it was absolutely hilarious to watch his reaction after the interviewer said, brilliant coaching move, and he's sitting there just like he's sitting there laughing. And then he said, yes. if I had known that he was going to score 3 goals, I would have put him in before Game 7. And it's just like, and I joked with Dad, and I was just like, this is some divine intervention here. This what are the chances that Cogliano gets hurt? He's one of the Iron Men of the NHL. He had one of the longest streaks in NHL history of playing consistent games, back to back to back, like without gaining an injury or anything like that. He gets an injury in probably the most defining moment in recent Stars history, right? I would think that this is the most. This game
since
is
2008.
Yeah, since 2008, this is the most defining game for the Stars, and a rookie.
And not just a rookie, it's a nobody rookie.
If you're not
a Stars fan and you don't do draft cards or something, you don't know who this guy is. Nobody knows who this guy is. He hasn't done anything before this. He's fine in the games that we brought him up in, but it was nothing to write home about. He skated hard. Mm-hmm. But he's not supposed to be this goal scorer. That's not what we have him for, and just he gets a random hat trick. Stars get lucky, we move on. It's really law of averages though. When it comes down to it, that we obviously take the 3-1 series lead. Those were Stars wins. It wasn't just the Avalanche lost it. They didn't play great, but those were games that the Stars took advantage of and won. And then you got to tell this team to beat another great team 3 times in a row, and that's not going to happen most of the time. And that's why those percentages are there. The 90% chance of winning the series when you go up 3-1. Mm-hmm. Even if the other team is better for the last 3 games, they're still probably not going to win all 3 games, is my point. So,
right.
Well, while we did get lucky, we get lucky because we played good early in the series.
Mm-hmm. Well, and for those of you that haven't heard it or seen it, you have to go look and listen to the Finnish broadcaster who
Yeah.
put on who I guess he was broadcasting to Finland. I don't know where or when, but he was broadcasting, and when he said Joel Kiviranta's name on that broadcast, it was absolutely hilarious.
Kiviranta!
Like I just imagine like foaming at the mouth, like
Oh, yeah.
by saying Kiviranta. Oh, it was so funny to watch. I'm
That's
not
how
joking.
I felt when it went in.
I know. I was sitting there like screaming my head off. I was just in the car, and I kind of scared Maddie again. And oh man, it was. I don't think I've ever been that elated in my life since 2008 when Brendan Morrow scored that goal in like was it like double
Second.
overtime? Yeah, it was double overtime. So on that power play goal, and it was basically just an open net, and he just dunked it. But ever since then, I've never been that excited. Since I was 15 years old. I'm 27 now, so it's been 12 years. 12 years since I've been waiting for something like that, a defining moment. And I really thought that even though Kiviranta scored that fourth goal and he tied it up for us literally 10 seconds later, I didn't see us winning the game. I still didn't, because I thought, oh no, this is going to be the Blues series all over again, and we're going to get close, because I thought the Jamie Benn goal in the Blues series in 2019, when Bennington, I mean, it looked like it was over, but there was like a sliver of it that didn't get over. I thought Dennis Garyanov was going to be that goal where he hit the post. It was tied 4-4, and he hit the post, and I was thinking like that's gonna be that goal that we're gonna look back on and be like, oh crap, what if? But oh, I really thought it was gonna be a repeat, but Joel Kiviranta saved our lives.
Yeah. I also don't think we should be expecting that ever again from Kiviranta. I don't think.
No.
I mean, unless he's just like pure adrenaline rush from here on out. But I don't think that he's gonna get any more goals this postseason.
No.
But what a memory for him and us, obviously, for a guy that wasn't supposed to be there to get the game tying and overtime game winning, series clinching goal to move the Stars to the farthest point they've been in over a decade. So that's just awesome Stars moment for forever.
But seriously, we're never gonna see this again. Never. I don't think we're ever gonna see this again.
Oh no! Last time hockey saw a hat trick in a Game 7 was Wayne Gretzky. So yeah, and that was a really different time in hockey. So this is not gonna happen again.
Yeah, that was back in the 80s when like you were considered good if your save percentage was over 900. Because in the 80s, all they did was score. Can you imagine that? 200 points in a season, and he had multiples of those.
Yeah,
and that's when they were still playing like 84 games.
That was some pond hockey.
Yeah, talk about craziness. Well, let me ask this question, because why was he so good? What did he just like wake up that day and felt great, and knowing that he was going to have to play because Cogs was hurt? Or, I thought about this, is because of the amount of hockey everybody else is playing, does that mean that Kiviranta, I mean, even versus the Colorado Avalanche, because they had a lot of hurt kids, a lot of hurt players, including both of their goaltenders. But because, they're playing so much hockey, does that put Kiviranta on just another level just because he has all the energy in the world?
I think it helps.
Or what do you think?
It helps, but you don't become a 3-goal scorer just because you can skate faster. Like that's not what happened really. It was dumb luck. That was some playoff dumb luck that our rookie gets a hat trick. There's really no other explanation for it.
Well, I'll leave it at this. The last question that was asked of him from the NBC interviewers, the answer he gave was, "I really hope I get some more games in."
Yep, I think he's gonna get at least 4 next series.
Yeah,
So.
Even I would leave him in. He deserves it.
Oh, he's staying
He
in,
absolutely
yeah.
deserves it.
Yeah,
Even if
it
you take
really doesn't matter.
yeah, even if you take somebody else out, you got to take
Dickinson
him.
has not been playing great. We'll take Dickinson out. Sounds good to me.
Well, he's been
Great
playing.
guys.
Everybody's been playing pretty well, just not exactly producing at the levels you would want them to. Dickinson's had some on and off games. Oh, okay. So let's jump to yes, we won. We're ecstatic. We love the emotional stuff, and we're gonna remember this game for the rest of our lives. But we still didn't play well.
Oh no, we played the exact same as 5 and 6, pretty much.
The only place that we played better in, and it still wasn't great, was the third period. That was it.
Yep.
We played well again in the first period, and then what happened? We
Penalty.
take penalties. Oh my goodness! If you're not gonna be able to do that against Vegas, they may not be as an offensive team as the other two that we face, Calgary and Colorado, but they are so much like us in the way that they're big, they're fast, and they have more offensive firepower up front than we do.
And I think because of that, Vegas is going to be taking more penalties too, right? So Colorado is not an aggressive team. They're a fast team. They want to get around you before you can hit them. Vegas is the exact opposite. They'll run right over you if you let them. So I think that's going to cause more penalties on both sides of the puck, and I think it'll pretty much even out for the Stars. But yeah, we can't just dumb penalties too. Is what it was. Corey Perry did some stupid stuff in the last 2 games, especially the stupid end of the stick into the guy's head was idiotic. That annoyed me, but you just can't be taking stupid penalties like that. So I'm hoping some of the older guys stop that real fast. But other than that, I think the power plays will even out themselves. And also, while we're on penalties and stuff, we can talk about how great the Stars power play has been pretty much throughout this series, especially the last 2 games. 2 for 2 on the Game 7. And we had 2 power play goals, Game 6, I think.
Yep. We had a couple more opportunities, but we only got 2 goals.
Lots of power play goals from the Stars so far, so that's a good thing to look forward to.
Well, and so the weird thing at the beginning of the year, way back in October, was that the penalty kill was doing really well, and the power play sucked. And then as we got further on, more towards when the season stopped, the power play was doing really well, and the penalty kill sucked.
And now it seems like it kind of figured both of them out. Yeah, penalty kill did great last series too, especially with the potent power play that they have. So, it also brings up something else I want to talk about. So, McKinnon got worse and worse as this series went on. So just like you and me were talking about, McKinnon playing 30 minutes a night, I think it definitely wore down on him, especially in the last 3 games of the series. I barely noticed McKinnon at all in Game 7, and then of course he didn't get a point. So I think that did finally pay off for the Stars there.
It still had almost 28 minutes of ice time.
That's
insane.
Came back to bite him in the butt. He couldn't carry the series after that anymore.
Well, one of the players I want to talk about that has really stepped up, but had a terrible Game 7, was Alexiak. Alexiak had a Sekera-like game. That Sekera game from the Calgary series. I already forgot which game. Yeah. Sekera. I've heard so many different pronunciations, I don't know which one is right. I'll just say Sekera because I like that better. So he had a Sekera-like game. So that second goal in the first period by the Avalanche was completely 100% his fault. And I understand what he was trying to do. He was trying to push the offensive pressure and everything, but
too cute for the D zone.
Right. Well, it wasn't even at the D zone. It was at the blue line.
Yeah.
So
You
it
put
was
it up
it was
against the
almost
high
more.
boards is what you're supposed to do. Everybody, if you played hockey at all, I haven't even played hockey, and I know that that's the rule.
Yes, yeah.
If you're at the blue line, you put it against the boards, and that's
It's the safe
always what
play.
you do.
That's a safe
So
play.
there's no reason for him to try and make a little chip pass around a guy to get to the middle of the ice. It was just a dumb play, and he would tell you the exact same thing. He would say that was idiotic.
And not to mention the guy that he chipped it to was Burakovsky,
Yeah,
who
not
at that
helpful.
point was the hottest player for the Avalanche. He had a great last 2 or 3 games. Burakovsky did. That's why he got moved up to the first line when Landeskog went down. So here's another question that I'm starting to think about. If the Avalanche had had all of their players, do you think they would have beat us?
No,
Because
I think Avalanche fans making that assumption is honestly ridiculous.
That's why I'm asking, because they lost both of their goaltenders. They didn't have Landeskog for the last game, and I know that Eric Johnson may be a 5th or 6th defenseman, but he's basically like their Esa Lindell. Like if we didn't have Esa Lindell,
he's not that good.
He's a defensive defenseman.
He's a defensive defenseman. He's more like a Lovejoy from years past. He's not a Esa Lindell.
Maybe. I still think he's not as good as Lindell, but he's as important as Lindell to the Colorado Avalanche.
If he's on the third pair, he's not. I'll tell you that right now. But I think the injuries thing. If you think Hutchinson lost the series for the Avs, you're dead wrong. You didn't watch the series. If you think not having Landeskog lost the series, you're dead wrong. He wasn't.
He played every game except the last one.
Yeah, he played every game except the last one, and honestly wasn't producing that much in the last 2 that he played in. Why the Avs lost is because they couldn't score on the power play, and they really couldn't score with depth. It was top guys scoring until Game 7, when McKinnon finally was depleted and out of gas. So the Avs lost because the Stars exposed their weak points. And their weak points is not injuries. It was they have no depth. Their only scoring comes from the top. And I guess they're spotty on the power play now. I don't know, but hopefully they can figure that one out.
Well, when you look at the goals that were scored and the points, yeah, you see Burakovsky, yeah, you see Kadri, but Nemestikov, he had 2 goals. He's on the 4th line for the Avs. That's some depth scoring.
2 goals in a 7-game series is.
No, I think he had another one. I think it was in Game 5 or in Game 6. I couldn't tell you for sure, but I think they had that. I think they had the depth scoring, especially in Game 5 for sure. But
I think the fact that they're not rolling 4 lines the way the Stars are, it kind of proves that they don't think so. If McKinnon's playing 30 minutes of hockey a night, they're obviously not trusting somebody.
No, I don't think that's true. I think it's just McKinnon is just that good of a player. I mean, if you had,
it obviously cost him at the end of the game, at the end of the series, right? McKinnon's tired. You could see it. He couldn't skate the way he could in the first few games.
He is still Nathan McKinnon. He is still Nathan McKinnon.
If you have that great of a player, you want him playing his best every game. You don't want him playing amazing and almost stealing the first 3 games, right? Because the last games he was not even close to his dangers. Every time he got the puck in the first 3 games, I was terrified that he was going to go score himself, and he almost did every single time. And then at the end, he didn't. So if they truly believed they had the depth, they would try and keep him rested enough so that he could still do Nathan McKinnon things. Because by the end of the series, he could not. It was obvious.
What I really think comes down to is, and think about this and tell me what you think. What do the Stars have that the Avalanche don't?
Elite blue liners.
Cale Makar? Sam
He's
Girard?
is way better than Makar.
Sam Girard is still pretty good. He's not
Stars
as good.
have 4 of the best defensemen in the league, in my opinion. Especially right now, since Alexiak is playing so much better.
Okay. I guess you can make an argument for that, but I still don't think that's the reason why.
What do you think it is?
What do we have that the Avalanche don't? We have veterans. Colorado doesn't really have those veteran players to lean on. We almost have too many. We've got Pavelski. We've got Perry. We've got even to some extent, Ben. And we have a lot of these players that went through that Game 7 against the Blues, right?
Yeah, I see what you're saying. Those guys don't really show up in Game 7 though.
Yeah, but it's again the reason why Pavelski, I almost said Pavelski again. Pavelski was given that $7 million was not necessarily because they expected him to score 38 goals again, right? Because he didn't even hit the 20-goal mark.
Well, they expect him to score the big goals sometimes, which he has throughout the playoffs.
That game, specifically, and that calming presence he brings as being a captain of a former really good team that had gone deep into the playoffs multiple times, was the reason why he was signed.
Yeah. I think you're giving the Stars too much credit. I think it was more dumb luck than anything, but I'll buy it.
Okay. Well, how about we go 50-50 with that?
I'll give you 50-50.
I'm not so sure, but we'll see about that. Okay, we don't want to make this too long, so let's make this real quick. Another player, Radulov.
Played awesome. Paid to his pay grade finally again. He's always hot and cold, so he was cold for a while. He was due. He scored his goals. He's going to be cold for a while. Shouldn't expect anything from Radulov till at least Game 5 next series. Moving on.
Or maybe next year.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, but those I cried when he scored his second power play goal in the third period. I cried. And then when actually what even happened was for the fourth goals for each team, I was in the middle of a blackout zone, so I wasn't getting any internet whatsoever. So I had to watch as Twitter blew up as 2 goals were scored 10 seconds apart.
Woof.
When I saw 4-3, I'm like, oh, and I groaned. And then I'm like, oh, wait a second. Kiviranta scored again? So, anyways, I had to go back and watch those. But, all right. So we're going to do another podcast over the conference finals.
Sounds good to me.
Yeah. Let's wait a couple hours until freaking Flyers and New York Islanders make up their minds of who wins. Who's winning right now?
Islanders.
It's 7:33 Central Time right now, so we're going to go find out who wins, and then we'll make another podcast. So, all right, guys. We'll see you on the next podcast. This has been Ryan with Chris, and we are Starcastic Remarks, the only Dallas Stars fan-led podcast. You can find us on Twitter at StarcasticR. You can also follow us on our Facebook page, Starcastic Remarks, and you can also find us wherever you get your podcasts. Also, subscribe to us on YouTube.
Yeah.
Stars are on to the next series, baby. Conference finals! Woo! All right.
Yay!
And we can't say go Canucks.
Go Canucks.
You can say it. Bye, guys. We'll see you on the next episode.